Hi, Steve Jack here. Welcome to the next episode. Today I'm really fortunate to have Randy Hetrick, the founder of Fitness Anywhere and, of course, the legendary TRX, my favourite piece of kit in the industry right now. Welcome along, Randy. Welcome to England.
Thank you, Steve. Happy to be here.
Fantastic. And so just thought I'd just quickly, while I've got you here, just grab you for a quick interview and find out some of the background of the TRX, because it's like quite a really cool story. So how did you come about with it?
Yeah, well, hey, this thing is sort of the original invention of necessity. And I spent my whole first adult life, first 14 years of my adulthood as a Navy commando in the SEAL teams, sort of like your SB guys here.
I'm just going to take a step back a little bit further.
I've lost my skills. They've become dull over the years, so no worries. But this, it started out, we were deploying a lot into places where there weren't access to high-quality equipment. And
I imagine you don't want to go if you're an average person either.
Yeah, and tall white guys can't exactly go, diddy-bopping out on the road for a run. So we ended up deployed into a lot of these places that you just were in a little safe house or into even on training operation into warehouses, and where you're trying to train but you don't have great kit, and you can only get so many exercises and so much of a well-balanced workout out of the traditional bodyweight stuff. So
sometimes when you're waiting to be deployed, that can go on for some time, so you got to keep yourself fit, right?
Yeah, a lot of times, it's the hurry up and wait, the bane of the military guy's existence. So yeah, so we would be trying to figure out how to work out, and I ultimately came up with a system that originally, ironically, I had deployed with my jiu-jitsu belt, somehow stuffed in my blowout bag for no good reason. And I pulled it out, found it, and said, wait a minute, this could be useful. What if we threw it over that door over there and lean back, and maybe I could do some of the exercises for climbing. That was the original inspiration, was climbing for for underway ship missions, where you're climbing the side of a ship with a lot of gear on your back.
What, to when you get hauled out of the water or something?
Yeah. So then that just kind of progressed, and I decided, wait a minute, it'd be better if there were two of them. And so I went over and found some surplus parachute harness webbing in the spare parts box.
So he's an action man and MacGyver. This is awesome.
A little bit of a MacGyver, yeah. And ultimately it just kind of continued to evolve. We figured out that the best design was kind of the single anchor that then branched out into two sides to hang on to. And originally there were no handles, there was no buckles. You just grabbed onto it. There's actually some benefit to that, right?
Forearm strength,
building the grip. And from that point forward, it just kind of evolved slowly with, guys, SEALs tend to be pretty innovative cats and big into training, obviously. So the programming started to unfold. And then it just kind of, it was in suspended animation there within the unit for a few years. And I didn't actually.
So it was actually sitting amongst the lads for quite a few years before it actually came out.
I never really thought of making a business out of it.
Right.
Where
did that come from? Because now you guys are everywhere. You're around the world, right?
Yeah. See, originally I just looked at it as a deployed training tool, right? After leaving the SEAL teams, I went back to business school, where you're thinking about business, strangely. And
you connected the dots.
And at that point, some of the S&C guys at Stanford started coming over saying, when I'd be in the training room, just going in with my straps, because at that point I'd kind of stopped lifting, and they'd say, wait a minute, what the hell are you doing? And as explaining to those guys, they started saying, hey, wait a minute, this would be great for my defensive backs. And then somebody else would say, oh, this would be great for the swimmers. This would be great for my tennis players. And pretty soon I thought, well, no, there is a business in this.
Yeah.
And, then the rest is kind of history.
And how long ago was that when you first decided you're going to nail it as a business, and then where we are today?
It was about 2004 where I was really kind of committed to making this go. And so we've been we just finished our 6th year in the market. And
fantastic,
man, I'll tell you, the legs on these straps turn out to be pretty long.
Yeah, they do, because these are really popular all around the world right now. And while we're on them, do you want to talk us through a little bit how they kind of work and what the benefits are for people when they start using them? So when they would use them at home or at the gym, and how it all kind of works.
Yeah, I mean, one of the great things about the TRX Suspension Trainer is it goes wherever you want to be. Here, hey, we're at Virgin Active, great gym. We're in every high performance training center around across the world of sport. And the same things that you're using in the training center, just off you go, and you can take anywhere, outside on the football pitch or your home gym, wherever you want to be. It's not a band; it doesn't stretch, right? There's no give to these. All the resistance comes out of your own body weight, working against gravity, And then we, through years of programming, have really mastered a pretty comprehensive system of ways to mitigate the force or load the force, reduce the level of stability, which results in a challenge,
sure.
Or increase stability to make it easier. And so you can use the tool both to load and to unload, and that's pretty unique.
Yeah, and it looks like it's pretty light too, right? It's like a gym in a bag.
Yeah, I think it weighs about 1.5 pounds when you've got it down in your bag, and I think now we are up over, well over 500 individual movements, each of which has, 4 or 5 levels of progression, and then you start mixing and matching them, which I think maybe we'll do a little bit of today.
Yeah, maybe we can have a look at some. It'd be super, yeah.
And it's literally kind of infinite.
Yeah, I guess it's the mind, right? That you can, as soon as you understand movement, you can take it all anywhere.
Yeah, since it's not hinged and it's not tracked, right? Which means it is the truly sort of unlimited motion machine, and any way that the body can move, the TRX will allow you to map training movements to that and then load them.
So you kind of constantly got the load under tension the whole time. So you're not sort of taking any tension out. It's just staying there the entire time.
Yeah,
so
that's a great point. And no, since Steve's no stranger to the straps, he would know this. One of the common mistakes is to use momentum, and then I end up unloading the straps at the top, falling back on them. I'm cheating myself because I'm not maintaining load the entire time, and then I'm not getting the benefit of the eccentric phase of the movement.
Sure, yeah. So one of the key points is to keep that tension on the entire time, and bam, do you know about it after 40, 50 seconds? You
do, and as we say, if the straps are slacking, so are you.
I love it. Okay, so if you wanted to progress that, or what would you do next?
Well, so then I think another nice move is to show that the TRX can be used to load, which we just saw, can also be used as a balance point and to unload. So then moving to something like a squat.
Sure.
Right? Now, if you're coming back off an injury, or maybe for an older person who's, doing a squat can be a little scary, that's a case in which the suspension trainer can be used to unload. So I can actually absorb some of the weight on my arms even as I'm training my lower body.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, because I think when trainers first get hold of this, so their first tendency is to go, wow, look at all the different amazing things you can do. But you've also got an amazing programming for the elderly population, don't you?
Yeah, and that's something I never saw coming.
Yeah.
Right? I did not create this as a senior training tool. It's just been one of those things that as the body of programming has broadened and more different kinds of experts have become participants in the TRX community, suddenly we had people who were experts at working with seniors. They said, man, this is my favorite tool. We said, really? And then we learned stuff from them. So, something like a squat, great place to start, just a bilateral squat, warming up. Even if you're a lifter, start warming up your body here, and we'll show a couple ways to take this up. And then you may choose to mix the two together.
Right, okay.
So in that case, we turn into the TRX squat row, just a little bit of backward lean. And as I come down into my squat, my arms go out. As I come up, I row. So I don't know many better backside, posterior chain warm-ups than this one. And so we'll generally start any of the athletes that are integrating this with a big set of squat rows warm up the backside of their body. Now, if you want to take this up, you move from bilateral mode into unilateral mode. And this is where the TRX really starts to have some unique challenges that people don't see automatically. Most people can't do.
I'm glad he's demonstrating, by the way, as well.
Yeah, most people, it's not that many people that can do freestanding pistols, certainly not, and repeat them. So one of the things that the TRX is great for is it gives you a little bit of help, but not too much, so that you can go into single leg pistol squats, and just using this for balance, basically. Not really using it at all to lift, or if I need to, right, if I find those challenging, then right when I get stuck, I can pull a bit with my upper body, get through it, and then you start integrating the whole thing, right? A single leg squat row, you can switch sides, right, so that you're... Right,
okay, so you've got, there's so many options, isn't there? So much variety.
Sort of endless programming. So there was a little build on, we did a few different things there. We did a squat, we did a row, we did a single leg pistol squat. We put the whole thing together, and frankly, every exercise can be done single-sided, so we could let go of one side and we could do single-arm rows.
Okay. You'd be engaging the core all through that one side, and so you're having to be nice and stable.
Yeah, because what you notice is gravity wants to do this. So I have to engage, stabilize, you know, think about dropping my shoulder blade down and back and doing a single arm row.
There's a lot going on there for sure.
A lot going on.
Yeah.
And you know, if you want to give into gravity, you can sort of let it open up into a power pull.
Yeah. Okay, it's nice.
So, you know, you talk about
I love that move as well.
A little build from very basic up to, you know, pretty advanced, and there's plenty of room to go up from there if that's what we want to be. Here, my respiration's coming up a bit because I'm engaging so many muscles and so much balance, proprioception, stabilization, all happening at the same time.
This is why it seems to be a tool of choice for many of the top athletes, because you guys work with a lot of the athletic conditioning teams.
Yeah, we do.
You know, so over in England, you just recently been visiting some, haven't you? And
yeah, it was great. I had a chance to be at Manchester City yesterday, the football club, and they got a great training staff. Spent some time kind of working, interestingly, like we find in most sports, in $1 million athletes.
Yeah.
The training staff is concerned a little bit with increasing performance, but the performance is already pretty damn high. So what they're really concerned with is preventing against injury, keeping them on the field, and to the extent they get hurt, getting them back on the pitch as quickly as possible. So we went through and shared with them yesterday a football-based program that we developed originally for the Brits won't want to hear this, but you know, for the guys down in Brazil,
right? And
then have now sort of spreading it as our penetration and patronage across the football community expands. And in the States, you know, we're obviously in the American football and the National Basketball Association and Major League Baseball. So
literally we've got these elite athletes, and then down here we've kind of got the elderly program. And so literally if we were to draw a line between those two, we'd pretty much bisect the entire population, right?
Yeah.
So one of the other great things I think I love about this is so portable, and although we've got a fixed anchor point here, you can actually use this at home, can't you? Because you have a kind of a door anchor solution.
We do, in fact.
Do we have that around somewhere? I think we've got a little one we can have a look at. And how does that work with the door? Because if people wanted to use one of these at home, it's very simple. It just literally hangs off the door, doesn't it? So
yeah, I mean, here we have you see it hanging off what we call the suspension anchor.
Yeah,
and that lets you literally hook up to anything that's strong enough to support your body: a fence, a tree, you know, a squat rack, one of our mounts, because we make, you know, a variety of different mounts for commercial fitness. And then I think I hear the pitter patter of little feet.
Yeah, so Scott's
there we go. Thank you. So, as if on command, I love when a plan comes together. Just quickly, you can snap off here, snap on a door anchor, right? Throw this over the top of the door. The door closes toward you. It's the best possible scenario because you're pulling the door closed.
Sure.
And if the door opens toward you, then you just want to make sure that you got a sturdy door, slide it over a little toward the hinges, and you're in business.
Yeah, and that takes excuses out of the equation now. No excuses anymore.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
Right. I apologize.
So 15 to 20 minutes metabolic type work will be enough to really sort of, you know, I've done that before with the gang, and wow, real sweat, all the muscles are raking, and only in 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, that's right. It's an incredibly efficient form of exercise, in large part because, as you saw with me just doing a little demo, there's so much going on that the metabolic demands really drive up quickly, and then the more familiar you are with the straps and with the training, the faster you can sort of drive yourself. So Fantastic. It's really efficient.
So if people wanted to check out some videos, they can obviously there's probably a bunch of stuff on YouTube, but what's the website? You've got a community site where you've got loads of content. How can people check that out?
Yeah, well, we have two sites that feed into the same. FitnessAnywhere.com has been around for a number of years. Sure. TRXTraining.com also feeds to the same place, and there we've got a community site with a ton of user-generated content and content that we've developed, and so there's a lot of free stuff there, as well as the full assortment of, you know, prepackaged programs for different training objectives that we sell. We have to make a buck now and then.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it's a great place to go, get information, and kind of use that as a starting point.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I mean, that's excellent. I love training with these things, and certainly what you got to do if you want to step up into them, you got to leave your handbags at home. So, Randy, it's been awesome having you here today. Thanks a lot for taking time out and looking to see it. And yeah, check these out. They're coming.
Right on.
Take care. All right.
Make your body your machine.
Thanks.